The new Puma Future is here. Now it's over here. And now it's over here. What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new texture colorway of the Puma Future 18.1 Netfit, an awesome shoe in a pretty crazy looking colorway. So we're gonna take a closer look at all the details on this particular color in today's video. We're also gonna talk tech specs, performance, as well as take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So if you wanna learn more about them, please stick around, watch the entire video. And if you're interested in a pair for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $220 retail price. As far as extras go, they come with what I would argue is probably the best string bag we've seen in months from any release. You can see it features the same print found on the upper, but with a white base instead of a gray base, and then it has the accenting Puma logo there in the middle in bright orange. Really cool looking string bag. Now, starting off with the colorway, these are unique looking to say the least, and certainly not for everybody because of that reason. But just to applaud Puma for just a second, while colorways are very subjective, everyone's opinion is going to be a little bit different. I think in a short period of time, Puma has actually released a really good variety of colorways for the Puma Future. If you like something flashy, that's an option for you. If you like bright colors, that's an option. Or if you prefer pretty much mostly black, you have that as an option as well. Now, what I've seen a lot of people commenting with this particular shoe is that it's a copy of Nike's Safari print, specifically this shoe right here, which is Cristiano Ronaldo's first ever signature colorway I have in the form of a Superfly 2. Is this a copy of Nike's Safari print? In my opinion, absolutely not. The two patterns are completely different, as you can see side by side. And I have also heard people mention that this looks like a copy of the launch colorway of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2, which launched in gray and orange with the black detailing as well. Same with the pattern that's printed on the base of the sole plate. Again, I think it's a stretch to call this a copy of anything that Nike has done. Nike does not own all patterns. They do not own cheetah print or leopard print. Leopards and cheetahs own that, not Nike. What a dumb thing to say. Anyways, the name of this colorway is Texture, and that's not just because of the pattern. If you look closely, the texturing of the upper, the base part that's gray, is actually like a micro suede. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It doesn't feel fuzzy to the touch, but it is a slightly different visual texture, not so much one that I would say feels that different on the ball or just to the touch with your fingers, but it does look very, very unique. And I think it works really well with the design of this shoe. It definitely hides the Netfit system, which is still there, but the Netfit webbing is actually a combination of like gray, white, and black all in one. So it kind of mixes in with the pattern really, really well. Obviously you have the form stripe right there in the form of this bright orange accent color underneath the Netfit system. You have the collar in bright orange as well, a little bit there across the top. The laces are a combination of black and white, which actually look quite good with the patterns you have going on already. On the back, you'll find the Future branding and one more Puma logo. And then the bottom is that orange accent color with the pattern continued there in black. And it didn't come with any stickers letting you know that this is a wearable finish. And from what I can tell, it seems to be under the clear coat within the plastic itself. So I don't think that this is actually a wearable pattern on the bottom. But even if it did wear out, still leaving it orange, I don't think it would look bad at all. And overall, I'm not a huge fan of really flashy colorways, but I do like Nike Safari print, and I do like prints on shoes in general. I think one of my favorites that Puma has done over the years was the Puma V106 with that grass print. This kind of reminds me of that to a certain extent. That's kind of what it relates to in terms of what Puma has done with prints in the past. And honestly, I really do like the way that these look, but let me know your opinions on it down below in the comments. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? Now, from a performance standpoint, I legitimately do think that the Puma Future is one of the best top-end models out there right now. And of course, that's just a personal opinion, but having tried everything, I can honestly tell you that nothing feels like this particular boot. And the main reason why you would want to buy this is because of the Netfit system. It allows for a customization of the fit, feel, and to a certain extent the performance characteristics of the shoe that you will not find from anything else out there right now. Now, what a lot of people don't realize about the Puma Future is that it's a fully knitted upper. It's their Evo knit material, which you can clearly see is exposed in an elasticated form in the collar area, as well as running through the middle where it's all exposed orange as well. Evo knit basically being Puma's equivalent of Nike's Fly Knit or Adidas Prime Knit. Every brand has their own knitted upper material at this point. Anyways, that knitted upper runs throughout the entire shoe. It's not fully elasticated, of course, and it's actually a very, very thin base layer for the entire upper itself. There's an internal liner, and then you're gonna find a polyurethane layer covering the entirety of the upper, followed by a Netfit layer, which runs throughout the whole shoe, even in the heel and the forefoot, where you're not gonna put laces because you can't. They cover up those areas with an extra layer of that polyurethane, sometimes two. That's there for the sake of durability, as well as just touch on the ball. It leaves it from being not too slick or not too slippery on the ball, although I wouldn't say that this is a particularly grippy shoe on the ball at all, but you can see they do leave that Netfit material exposed throughout the entire forefoot, midfoot, and basically around the ankle area where you would have that top lace hole on both the lateral and medial side. Now, while they're laced up pretty normally right now, basically with this Netfit system, you can take any of these holes and use it as a lacing position. So it's entirely up to you to set the laces up in whichever way feels best for your feet. And that, to me, is something that's very, very cool. Now, Puma has kind of presented this as somewhat of a gimmicky thing in saying that this particular lacing setup is going to be best for dribblers, this particular lacing setup is going to be best for accuracy, stuff like that. That's not necessarily the case. I think when you're talking about a wide foot, narrow foot type application in terms of making the shoe more or less comfortable for you, depending on how you lace them up, that is legitimately how this works. If you lace the shoes higher up, you're gonna allow for more expansion through the lower parts of the upper, which is gonna make them feel and fit a little bit wider. Whereas if you lace them lower down, that's gonna allow for more tension on the upper. It's not going to expand as much, and the shoe's going to have a more narrow, more responsive, tighter wrap around your foot. So it really is a matter of one, what feels comfortable to you, and two, the actual shape of your feet. So it's something when you get these shoes, put them on, unlace them, and then lace them up in different ways to see what feels best. Once you have the ideal setup, that's really going to be the best experience that you're gonna get from the Puma Future. Moving to the rear of the shoe, the back is very structured with a fairly large internal plastic heel counter. The collar itself really doesn't feel like anything when you're wearing it. There's no structure to it. There's no ankle support from this at all. It's there more so for the sake of looks, and they do actually offer a standard low cut variation of the Puma Future as well. Not in this exact colorway, but in a couple other colorways, and I plan on reviewing those very soon. I've had a lot of you guys ask me about it. Internally, you'll find that it does have a nice synthetic suede lining with minimal amounts of padding, but I never found heel lockdown or comfort in that area of the shoe to be an issue whatsoever. And the insole is fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. It features a synthetic suede liner on top, and it's made from a single layer of this red foam with some extra perforated foam inserts in yellow in the heel as well as the forefoot area. It's got decent thickness to it, but honestly is nothing special in comparison to 99% of insoles out there right now. As far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, if I'm comparing this to previous boots from Puma, this is kind of along the lines of what we were seeing from certain Evo Speed models, more so than what we saw from the Evo Powers, which was more so based around flexibility and kind of bending backwards. This doesn't have that sensation whatsoever. It's a much more solid overall construction. So it's a P-Bax material. It has good rigidity to it. It doesn't feel overly flexible out of the box, but after about 20 minutes or so, it does soften up pretty significantly. And again, it has a nice solid feel underfoot. There isn't much else to talk about beyond that. And as far as the stud pattern is concerned, one thing worth noting immediately is that this is an FG-AG boot. So not only is the stud pattern suitable for use on artificial grass, although I feel the studs are a little bit longer than they should be. Doesn't feel unsafe though, but the upper is also going to be suitable in terms of just dealing with the higher wear that artificial grass introduces to any form of footwear. It's a very abrasive surface and it can be really hard on your shoes. Often when you wear firm ground shoes on artificial grass, the durability will suffer because it's a surface that is, like I said, just much more abrasive than natural grass is. But you can get away with wearing these on natural grass or artificial grass without having to worry about that whatsoever. And as far as the stud pattern is concerned, it's kind of camouflaged within this pattern. It's pretty straightforward, I would say fairly aggressive, and more along the lines of what we were seeing from the Evo Powers. It's got conical studs through the forefoot, basically in the first 4 positions, but you're gonna find conical studs supporting the midfoot as well, kind of lined up like that, kind of a little bit of a toe pick stud, a little bit unusual. The base will have some bladed studs, which is interesting, and then the very back is gonna have bladed studs at the base, and then at the very back you'll find conical studs again. Overall, the stud pattern works really, really good. It's fairly aggressive, but at the same time does have a little bit of a traditional feel to it because of the conical shape. Overall, I really do like it, and out of all the stud patterns on offer from Puma right now, this is my personal favorite. In terms of weight, in a size 9 US, the Puma Future 18.1 weighs in at 7.35 ounces, which is on par with most other top-end models these days, very similar in weight to something like a Magista Obra 2. Even the Superfly 6 Elite weighs in at about 7 ounces in the same size. So you're talking about a very similar weight range to high-end speed boots from other major brands as well. So are these going to feel heavy on your feet? Absolutely not. They're actually relatively lightweight, but don't expect them to be like super light because they don't have that feeling at all. So as you can see, I swapped out the stock black and white laces, which look good. I don't have any issues with them, with some Orange Punch reflective SR4U replacement laces, just because it accents nicely with the orange. I think part of the cool aspect of the Puma Future is when you have that custom lacing setup, you're actually able to see it. But if the laces are the same color as the upper, you don't see it as much. This definitely pops against the gray and black background. Anyways, if you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. On feet, the Puma Future is gonna feel pretty good out of the box. I wouldn't say that there's too much to break in. The sole plate, like I mentioned earlier, does have a little bit of a stiffer feel to it, but after about half an hour or so, it gets a lot more flexible. The heel lockdown is good, and the overall shoe itself is relatively flexible. Again, the way that you have the laces set up is going to make the big difference here. And you can see on my right foot, I've actually laced them up in the way that I like to wear the Puma Future, where I lace them lower on the lateral side just so I get more grab on the upper. It makes for a slightly more locked in responsive sensation. But because I'm slightly flat-footed, I like to lace it up higher up, so it allows for a little bit more expansion in the midfoot arch area of my foot, which is just more comfortable for me. Some people might like more grab right there. If you lace them lower, you're going to get that. And again, it's just really a matter of lacing them up in such a way that feels right for your feet. Everyone's feet are a little bit different, but the base shape of this shoe is gonna have, I would say, a higher volume, slightly wider feel overall, but depending on how you lace them up, you can make them feel a lot tighter and a lot more snug on your feet and really achieve a high quality premium fit that you would expect from a top end shoe. So break-in wise, it's really more so just setting up the lacing system rather than breaking in the shoe physically, if that makes any sense at all. As far as the width is concerned, these are gonna be suitable for most foot types. I wouldn't expect the upper to stretch a lot, but again, they have a higher volume, slightly wider base shape. Again, the lacing system is really what's going to make them fit more narrow or slightly wider. So again, lacing setup is going to have everything to do with the way that they fit. So width-wise, I'd say that they fit just about anybody. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing a size 9 US here, and I would say the fit and length is pretty much perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I would personally recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So in conclusion, this is a very unique colorway for what is admittedly a very unique boot as well. If you're interested in what the Puma Future has on offer, if what I've described to you sounds like something that you might enjoy, or if you really have a hard time getting a comfortable fit out of most soccer cleats, something like this, because of that Netfit system allowing you to change up how the shoe is laced, actually makes a much bigger difference than I think a lot of people would realize in regards to achieving that comfortable kind of customized fit on your foot. So if you're one of those people, or you're just curious about the concept in general, trust me when I say that the Puma Future 18.1 is legitimately one of the best boots out there right now. Anyways, guys, that is it for my review. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $220 retail price. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching.